All right, Brian, let's just move on to something else. We've been talking about it this morning, and of course, that's taxing our way out of our issues and taxing people out of New York. I mean, look at this. The Empire State's Assembly is proposing $7 billion worth of new taxes on the wealthy. Billion. They want to boost the top income tax level to 11.85%. They want to pay for their new budget, which, by the way, they didn't do anything to shrink or deal with, just throwing that out there. I mean, Brian, tell me that we're not going to see a national trend of taxing the wealthy, although I know we already are. And tell me, how in the world does New York State think they're not going to continue to push people out to Florida and Texas?
Well, Michael talks about FOMO with respect to Bitcoin. I think it's going to be fear of not getting out of New York. And the contrarian in me wants to maybe start sniffing around and getting something in New York, but it's fearful because of the type of money that we're seeing, and especially with the spread that many companies are talking about moving to Dallas or moving to Miami. This is going to continue. You know, last summer we talked about in the thematic report this whole notion of getting out of the metropolitan areas because of what was going on in terms of the virus and the OCD or germaphobes in terms of getting on trains and all of this stuff. We're not talking about that. And I think, and especially with respect to New York, I had a conference call with a big client last week and had 12 portfolio managers, and they were basically mixed in terms of whether or not they even want to live in New York. So I think this is a major, major deal in terms of revenue shortfall, and it could be an issue for several more years.
Not to mention the fact that New York City is more than 25% of the base, the revenue that New York State generates, and nobody's talking about that either. So there you go. Michael Lee, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We'll see what Bitcoin does, sir.
Thank you.
Brian Belski and Shana Sissel, you guys stay right there. You're going to be with me all morning long. We've got a lot more coming up this morning. Help is arriving at the southern border, but the White House still refuses to call this a crisis. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee and New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew are going to weigh in the next hour. And coming up, Kansas Senator Roger Marshall also talking about the border after his visit there yesterday. And New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis weighs in on the growing calls for Governor Andrew Cuomo's resignation. That's in the 8 a.m. hour. Plus, true love hitting a speed bump. Oh, how J-Lo and